All right, start with a cross-legged seat if possible today. And I'm even going to say the right leg in front. Have your feet themselves underneath the knees. Rather, some folks like to cross at the ankles. Take it a little deeper so it's feet underneath the knees, and then sit up nice and tall. Just take a moment here. As we typically do, close the eyes, turn your gaze inward, concentration inward. See the flow of your breath without forcibly changing that breath. Just start to count the length of the inhale, count the length of the exhale. Cool things happen when we take notice. Generally, that breath starts to slow, maybe even out a bit. And then simply fold a little bit forward so that you feel maybe a lot, but even just the slightest bit of stretch through the outer hip on both sides. We'll come back up and simply switch so that your other foot, your left foot probably, is in front. Again, just take all of this, sit nice and tall. Couple of breaths. And fold forward for a moment. Today I want to work thinking about this quote. It says, "People become motivated when you guide them to their source of power." This practice has a wonderful way of bringing out our source of power. We're doing that in a soft held practice today. Come on upright. Keep the left foot in front, left leg in front, and take a twist towards the left. And then keeping the body rotated towards the left, even pick up the left foot, cross it over the right thigh so that you're into a deep-seated twist here. As you unravel that twist, now the left heel closer towards the right hip. So think more knee down towards the floor. I don't know about you guys, but especially here at the beginning of practice, it's more of a thought. And then we fold over again. So it should be much like that starting pose, but more stretch. Okay, as you come up, take the other leg on top. So if the right thigh goes on top, sole the foot first and twist towards the right side. Don't worry too much about getting both sides of the butt on the ground. Okay, and then it's the cow face legs. So the right knee more down towards the floor, towards the left. Heels closer in to the sides and lean forward. Not overthinking or overdoing here. And then finally, you bring just cross-legged, crisscross applesauce again with the right leg, your normal leg in front. And then twist towards the right. And maybe that's not your typical leg. For most folks, it is. Okay, and then we come back around and just switch over to all fours. Here from all fours, cat and cow. Go more back to what you're used to and an opening. Just an easy rock back and forth through the spine. It helps me at times to start with what might feel like a little bit more complicated right, left, here, there, to get the brain right on track with the body at the beginning. So one reason I gave you all that in the beginning. Okay, downward facing dog. Stretch it on out. In down dog, as always, press down and forward through the hands. Make the arms really straight and strong. Give a little shake of the head, yes and no, and pedal out the feet. And then child's pose, knees down, press your butt back to the heels, reach your arms out long in front. And take twisted child's pose, so right arm under the left, set shoulder, ear, side of the face down. Unwind. Take it to the second side, left arm under the right. And unwind back to child's pose. Try to keep the hips long and back and go into downward facing dog, meaning skip all fours. Tuck the toes, keep the hips far back. Press through the hands, lift your hips and legs straighter. Take the right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip, point the knee more up towards the sky, and then do big circles, knee down towards the mat and all the way up and around here. Take up as much space as you can with that circle. We're going in the opposite direction. So much goodness. Focused on the hips this month. Step the right foot all the way through to the lunge. And then we'll have something new on tap next week. It's September already. Right hand high. Twist. Place the hand to the inside of the foot. Spin the back heel down. And walk the hands out, down dog lunge. Okay, here I want you to take your right hand like a horseshoe and the thumb and first finger and hook it behind your right heel, which makes you wear the right leg, like that little backpack I talk about a lot. Pick up the back heel. Okay, the left hand can just stay out to the side wherever, and I want you to try to just rock a little bit forward and back, forward and back. And then take the right hand out, regular old low lunge, and step back to plank. Lower down to the mat, cobra, peel the chest up. And go back to downward facing dog. And let's do it all on the second side. So left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, point the knee up towards the sky. So open across the hips. Try to still evenly press down through both hands. So the shoulders stay pretty square. And then make your big circles. Go in one direction 3 times. And then go in the opposite direction 3 times. So if you have the space where you're practicing, really take that leg up and out to the side wide. Okay, and then step the foot all the way through into our lunge. Left hand high for your twist. And then down dog lunge, spin the back heel down, walk the hands out towards the right corner or simply the right side of your mat. Great. Again, from here, that horseshoe. So now the left hand, thumb and first finger, hook it behind your left heel. That should give you a little bit of a leverage to sink your left shoulder further towards the mat. And then turn and lift the back heel and hips again towards the front. I'm using my right hand to help balance. Just kind of out to the side and rock a little bit forward and back. Good amount of tone in the abdomen to help you not overly weight the leg. And then we've got to get out of this. Walk the hands around, find your low lunge. Step back to plank. Nice. Lower it flat down to the mat. Cobra, peel the chest up. And child's pose. Push the hips back to the heels. That's a big wake up, right? Walk the hands over towards the right side. And then walk the hands across the center and over towards the left side. Come back to the middle. Now roll to sit up on your heels. So bring the torso upright and just sit way back on the heels. Interlace the hands, flip palms and lift. And I always say you can sit down or be in a kneeling position here. So whichever works better for you. Push through thumb and first finger. Lift, lift, lift. Release the hands. Give everything a little bit of a shake. I'm going to turn to the side so that I have the long edge of the mat. Do come up to kneeling like this if you were down. Extend your right leg out to the side. For this one to start, I'm going to keep the toes pointed out. So for me, that's I'm facing the long side of the mat, so my toes are pointed towards the short side of the mat. Gatekeeper, reach the same hand, the right hand down towards the right ankle, and then look up towards the sky. So you keep the hips, shoulders open, and then left hand palm down overhead, like extended side angle. And come all the way back up. Good, let's switch sides. So the right leg comes in, extend the left leg out, point the toes out. Reach the left hand down towards the left ankle. And right away in doing that, my butt wants to go back and my chest wants to go down and forward. So I'm going to fight that urge right from the beginning. Try to push the hips more forward and look up towards the sky. Right hand palm down overhead. Big, huge stretch for the side of the body. Into the psoas, hip flexor there. Come on up and take the take back to the knees, back to your kneeling position. I should have done this first, but hands to the hips. Camel pose. Push the hips a little bit forward. Squeeze the butt a lot. Lift the chest and look up towards the sky. Stay in this version of camel pose. Hands at the waist. One more breath. And then come back to neutral. And extend the right foot forward. Step the right foot forward into a low lunge. Let the hips move down and forward. And take the arms up towards the sky. Lower the hands around the front foot. Pick up the back knee. So if you haven't oriented back to that, look at that short side of the mat, go ahead and do that. And now we're just rocking forward and back, forward and back. Kind of messy sequencing, but it gets its way to open that front side of the body here, I think. Okay, come around to all fours. And we go left foot forward, upright at the beginning. And then hips get to go down and forward. Arms up, lift, look up. And lower the hands either side of the front foot. Pick up the back knee. And that easy rock back and forth. Go to or towards straight on the front leg each time. Tapping the back knee down. Okay, leave the back knee down and come around to all fours. Lift the right leg up and back behind you. And left arm out in front. Table pose with opposite arm and leg lifted. I think a lot of folks call these bird dogs. And then pull elbow and knee in, round the back. Straight out. 2 more times, pull in and extend. And pull in and extend. Lower the hand, keep the leg lifted. Okay, can you bend your right knee and pull it towards your right shoulder? And then straight kick the leg back. Do that a couple more times. Try to pull the right knee in towards the outer right shoulder, upper arm bone, and then kick the leg back. Pull it in, try to touch, and kick back. Ooh, that's hard. Okay, lower it down. We're on to the second side. It's left leg up, right arm out in front. Lots of mobility work here. Elbow and knee hug in and extend. Hug in and extend and pull it in and extend. Lower the right hand down. Okay, we ready? Left knee towards the left shoulder. Ugh. And kick back. Do it twice more. Does it get any better? Not really, but we're working on it. Left knee in, tap into the motivation, tap into the power source, and extend. Lower it down, do downward facing dog. Okay, I bet we're ready for just a couple of easy flows. Walk on up to the top of the mat. Easy as in we know what we're doing. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower to the mat. Pick up the chest for cobra. Go to downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe here. Next breath, look to your hands. Step, walk, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, again, half lift, hands to thighs, shins, or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Another round, sun salutation, A, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Hover above the mat. Go all the way down and then lift for cobra. Peel the chest up. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. Inhale, look to the hands. Exhale, jump, step, walk forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. One more for good measure, lift and reach. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Stay in dog pose. We're adding on from here, lift the right leg up into the air, 3-legged dog. Like we just did from table, but now you're in plank pose. Try to make your right knee touch your right shoulder or outer arm. And then up and back, 3-legged dog. Do it again. Right shoulder and up and back. Right shoulder and up and back. Lower the right leg down, pick up the left leg. You can do this. It's hard. You've got it though. Left knee to the left upper arm bone and up and back. Think plank pose and pull the leg in. Up and back. One more time. Forward and up and back. Set the leg down. Come to full plank and walk down to your forearms. Forearm plank. Can you set palms down, thumbs apart? And then walk the feet in for dolphin pose. Look at your toes. Try to keep your head as high off of the ground as possible. And lower the knees. Wrap the hands back to the feet. Rabbit pose. I never do this one. It's not my favorite pose, but it's called for right now. Hold on to your heels and then do cat pose in the upper body. Try to lift your hips high towards the sky, but stay rounded to make your forehead come as close to the knees as possible. And then sit all the way back down to your heels and lift your torso. We're back here. It all actually started here. Interlace the palms, flip the hands, lift. Okay, release the hands, come up to kneeling. This time we will start with camel, hands at the hips. Lift the chest, push the hips a little forward, look straight up to the sky. Okay, the option this time to walk your hands behind your back so that your pinky fingers can touch and kind of grip the top of the glutes. Second option, to lean the hands back further to catch hold of your heels. And then again, push the hips forward and the chest and eyes look up. If you're at your heels, walk back to hands at the back. Everyone come to neutral, upright. Take a breath. Let it go. You're back to right leg out to the side. Gatekeeper. Except this time for gatekeeper, turn the toes so that they're facing the same long edge as the knee. Reach the right hand towards, I'm more on my calf now rather than trying to get anywhere close to the ankle. Just that turn of the leg changes. Still a push of the hips forward like we were trying to do in camel pose. Look up towards the sky. Side bend. Left arm palm down overhead. Come back to your center. Kneeling. Switch the leg. Left leg goes out. Turn the foot. So again, toes now face the same direction as the right knee. Requires some extra strengthening in abductors, glutes. Harder to keep the strength of the inner thigh. Oh. That was a fail of a side bend. And then we're going for the side bend. Left arm towards the calf. My God, why is this side like 20 times harder? Y'all getting that? Right arm palm up and overhead. Yay. Come back. Kneeling. Turn so you're facing the short side of the mat. If you had changed, you're in all fours. And just hips a little side to side. Downward facing dog. Okay, regular old pigeon pose. Bring the right knee to the right wrist. Heel can stay locked in towards the left hip. Walk the left leg back until the hips go closer to the ground and come down to your forearms. Okay, check this out. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And is it okay for you to just rock a little bit forward and back? Answer might be no. I know it's going to be a no for me on my second side, but I'm still going to make the motivation for the first side here. So what works for you? And I want you to stay a little more in that forward rock position. For me, that's less stretch in the right hip right now than usually I'm kind of seated lower and back. Be a little more forward so that you have more access to the left leg. Put your weight onto the left forearm, and then can the right hand come up and around like a rainbow to grab hold of the left foot. The most common error I see here is not doing that big reach up first, and you're just trying to go back, which locks the shoulder forward, and you have a lot less range. So we want to use the top shoulder to open, more room than to grab hold of that back foot. Yeah. And then is there any room at all? Again, it might be a no, but check it out, to pulse the back heel in and out a little bit, in and out a little bit. And I'm way down so that I'm not having to worry about any sort of a back bend shape in the upper body yet. And then you'll release, walk your way out of this, downward facing dog. We're thinking, I thought I was just doing a plain old pigeon pose. We've got to start there, and then we've got these extra bus stops. And you get off when need be. Left knee towards the left wrist, right heel in towards the right hip. So we're not concentrating on bringing that foot out right now. It's all about keeping it close in so that you can get access to the rest of the offerings. Okay, right leg goes a little further back until you're ready to come down to the forearms. Stay sort of static in the position for a moment. Okay, and then this is where it starts to get a little more interesting, like rock forward and back. So for me, every time I rock back, it's a deeper stretch, if you will, in the outer hip. And I want to stop with the rock forward. So there's a little less intensity on the left leg, I'm hoping, to give you some access. Walk the right forearm way over to the right side to kind of lean the body weight more towards the right, and then pull the right heel in towards your seat. So if you're not grabbing hold of the right heel, you can still do the in and out with the heel. A little bit of a pull in and out. If you are, remember, big rainbow shape so that you can open up the top shoulder, more access, so the shoulder, head of the shoulders up and back. And then the hand is doing the work to pulse the right heel. Surely you're getting a notion of that in the quads. Okay, we're backing all the way out of this, nice and safe. Find your way to downward facing dog. And that was the shape of the legs for mermaid pose. All that side bending and camel pose work is so that we can have the opening and the range for the upper body piece. We'll put it together in a moment. Let's do a little more in the legs first. So Malasana, yogi squat. I want you to look forward to the hands and step your feet to the outside of your hands. Heels in, toes get to hang out, and then sit lower. So I've been having a hard time with this one lately, and what I've found as a good variation for myself, if you're one that heels often come up before your butt can go down, I'm putting my hands enough in the way and I keep them on the floor the whole time that my inner thighs, lower calves, kind of knock into the elbows, and I'm using that as a force to just slowly, gently help me maybe get half an inch lower, but do it safely. Yoga teachers, we all have fun injuries, and supposedly it helps us be better teachers. That's the insight I found this week. Push into the legs. Find your squat. All right. Right arm to the right, left arm up to the sky. And then change to the second side. So I'm really using on my left side the left arm to strongly pin back the leg so that my knee and hip stay happy on that side. Now the other option would be to go way to the back. So which one works for you? If you can stay forward, stay forward. Okay, we got both hands back down to the floor. Lift the hips up, turn the toes, standing forward fold here. Stand all the way up. Great. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Keep the right foot forward. Step your left foot back into a low lunge. Triangle pose. Spin the back heel down. Straighten the front leg. Keep right fingertips to the lower leg or the floor. Look up, open across hips, shoulders. Lift the left arm to the sky. Take the left arm palm down overhead like side angle. Let's get a little more into that side body stretch. Look down at your right knee and bend the knee. You can keep fingertips to the floor if that feels all right, or prop the elbow to the knee for your good old extended side angle. Parsvakonasana. And then Sun Warrior with a straight front leg. Straighten the right leg, lift the hand up to the sky. Cartwheel all the way down around the right foot. Step back to plank pose. Vinyasa flow, lower down. Peel the chest up. Do downward facing dog. Left side, you can step forward however you want to get there, but left foot forward, right foot back. Spin the right heel down. All right, so again, left hand stays to the floor, the foot higher on the shin, and make the left leg straight. Triangle pose, 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Body energy open to the long side of the mat, right hand high. Right hand palm down overhead. Extra bit of top body stretch. And then look at look at your left knee and bend it so you go into side angle pose. Keeping left hand down or elbow on the knee. And switch to Sun Warrior. Come upright in the torso, straighten the left leg, lift the left arm up. Cartwheel down around the left foot. Step back to plank. Lower to your mat. Peel the chest up. Okay, child's pose, friends, child's pose. Breath in, breath out. Come up to all fours. Step your right foot forward. And then take your right foot, we did this last week, I'm pretty sure, all the way over to the left side of the mat. flex the foot, come to the pinky toe side, edge of, what am I trying to say? Pull the ball of the big toe off of the mat so that you're just on your pinky toe edge. And I'm just going to kind of work my hands down and try to make one straight line from the ankle to the knee, parallel with the top of the mat. Walk the left leg back as much as works for you, keeping this shin parallel. Position of pigeon. Upright in the torso as much as we can. Okay, and then fall all the way over to the right side. Turning my back to you guys for a second because I think that actually makes the most sense for you to see. So I'm kind of in an S or Z shape in the legs. Fall, weight towards the right. So this left leg is a little bit more free to move. And here I want you to do the quad stretch. Left heel in, pull in. Stay there. Okay, now, can you, and the answer again might be no, you need to really check in here. Take the weight out of your right butt and come back on top of the legs here, still holding on to that quad stretch. Still keeping right shin parallel as much as possible. Take the safest route for you out of this pose. I'm going to release my back leg. Walk the back knee in until I can get out to all fours. Shift around through the hips. Okay? We're going to give this a go on the second side. Really think stage by stage, no rush here. Left foot comes forward. I'm going to walk the left foot over towards the right side of the mat. So it's this like hard kind of balance for a moment. Peel the big toe side of the foot off the mat. So I'm just on the pinky toe edge. Work the hands down for balance. And then set the left knee down. I've got a lot of weight right now over towards the left side, hips high. And then you just kind of find your way to walk the right leg further back. Don't overdo it. Concentrating on that parallel shin. And then we get to fall weight all the way over towards the left. This should be an easier sit. Grab hold of the right foot. Take the quad stretch. Kind of move the right knee further back. And you should see the change in the shape and in the stretch and intensity. Okay, again, this is a great bus stop. I'm not going to go any further on this side. This is what my body needs on this side. If you're going further, you got to get your weight back up off of the left butt cheek. More across the center. Holding that quad stretch. Okay, and then as carefully as possible, get yourself safely out of the position, all the way back to all fours. Shake out the hips. do downward facing dog. From down dog, take right leg up and back. Step forward to your lunge. Bring the left knee down, walk the hands up to the front thigh. Exhale and release the hips a little more down and forward. Okay, we're going to try Mermaid from this lunge shape. So it's back heel in. Give this a go. Can you take your left hand and reach to your left foot? Can you take your right hand and reach to your left foot? Good here. Release the right hand, take it up to the sky. Turn and look over your left shoulder to see your left foot. Patience, time, balance. Hook down to your left elbow and try to pat your left shoulder with your left hand. Gaze up towards the sky. Bend the right elbow to take right hand to your left hand. Grasp hold or give yourself a pat on the back for all of your trying effort and motivation here. And slowly unwind. Low lunge. Warrior 2. We're going to make the hips open and rotate this opposite way. Come all the way up to Warrior 2. Reverse Warrior, take the right hand high, keep the right knee bent. Look over your left shoulder, look at your left foot. Finally, cartwheel your way back down around the right foot. Step back to plank. Hold your plank. Downward facing dog. Woo! Second side. Let's give it a go. Left foot high. Step it through. You're in your low lunge. Right knee down to the mat. Walk the hands up to the front thigh. Hips go a little down and forward. Arms up to the sky. Okay, I'm asking for 2 different grips here. The first, right heel in. You take the right hand, find your ankle. Can you also take your left hand and find your foot? That usually pulls us into a stronger stretch. We want to keep the strength of that stretch. But change. Left hand goes back up. You're going to look back over your right shoulder. All of this is taking balance, strong prep in the core. Change the thumb to the pinky toe side of your foot. And then it's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Elbow to the foot. And right hand, try to pat your shoulder. And then left hand reaches back to try to pat the shoulder and see if those hands can't come to each other. Mine don't. It's all a try. And then you unwind. Step back to plank. No, you don't step back to plank. We got to go up to Warrior 2. Spin the back heel down. I just want to be done. Warrior 2. Oh, tap in deep. Lift the left arm high, reverse warrior. Look over the right shoulder. Okay, cartwheel it down. Step the left foot back, hold your plank. This is your source of power. Stay with it. Motivate from it. And lower it down to the mat. Cobra. Okay, child's pose with the knees wide and the big toes together. Sit upright, sit back on your heels or kneeling. I'm showing you my back for a reason. I'm running out of time, but I want to get us all the way through this. Try this, right hand up, pat yourself on the back. Left hand out to the side, palm faces back with the thumb down. And then palm stays open to the back as you walk the hand up. This is a really good judge for that mermaid grasp. My fingertips do not touch right now, so I can't expect them to touch in the mermaid version. The most I can, though, is push my hands right into my back, lift the top elbow straight up and the bottom elbow straight down. It's the journey that counts, right? Not whether you actually hold or not. And then we can release that out. I just kind of round the upper back for a moment. And then, of course, we need to try it on the second side. Because sometimes our body surprises us. What happens on the second side? Is it same or different? Left hand high, give yourself a pat on the back. Thumb down, fold it in. And you gotta just keep trying, keep walking. And for me, I say, oh cool, I actually got that grip on this side. So maybe that's possible when I'm trying mermaid on that side. And I know not to stop myself. Release. Everyone to all fours. We're going to end this with one more big try. It's from pigeon. Right knee forward, left knee back. Kick the left heel towards your seat. Bring the torso all the way upright, because I just saw if I was upright, I was more likely to get the fingers close to each other. Grab hold of your left foot. If the crease of the elbow works, you grab hold of that. Right hand up to the sky. Can it reach back? And find the left fingertips. Oh, it's all from different angles. Maybe it works that time. Unwrap. And try it on the second side. Left knee forward, right knee back. And right heel in. Again, you got to get that torso upright so it's more like camel. And you approach from camel pose. In the upper body. Try again. Get the grip to the hand or to the elbow. Right hand needs to point up towards the sky if you're hopeful for the mermaid grasp. Left hand up. It's got to go up before it goes back. Reach hold. Lean more back, not forward. Stretch it out to downward facing dog. Oh my goodness. Y'all, if we can attempt all of that, we can do so much in this day. Sticking with it. Learning via doing, watching, taking it in. So good for us. Lie down onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Say 3 positive things to yourself about this practice today. Name 1 thing for yourself that will keep you coming back to the mat to improve. Take the hands out to a T shape. Take both knees over towards the right side. And it's also okay to live right here on the mat. A pose, a breath, a feeling that you don't wish to return to. Take the legs up and over to the other side. Your hips are likely to be sore tomorrow. Come back and repeat this easy recline twist tonight before you go to bed to help it out. Okay, come back to your center. Any last unwinding, last pose right here. I'll lead us in just a short shavasana, though you're always welcome to stay for longer. Okay, make your way back to a seated position for those needing to move along. Palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Again, people become motivated when you guide them to the source of their power. I hope this mat, this practice is a source of power and motivation for you. Take it through the rest of your day. Let's close in the sound of Om to help send that power along. Namaste.